Hey everyone, this is Brooke again, and I wanted to take a moment to talk about Docker usage for the Terminus application. So if you go to the project and you scroll down to the table of contents here, you can click on Docker, and you can get all the information about using Docker locally. So I'm not going to go through this line by line, but I want to give you kind of a quick tour of how to use Docker that's provided for you when you check out the project or clone it locally. So I'm actually running it here, but let me clear this out. So if you go into the scripts that are provided within the project by default, you can go to the Docker and then you can do build, and that'll allow you to build a new image of the Hanami application locally. And this will build whatever branch you're on. So if you're on a feature branch, it'll build all the files for that feature branch, or in this case, I've just pulled from the main and I'm using the main branch, and that'll build a new image. The other thing you can do is once you have the image built, you can actually jump into the console. And basically, this just gives you a quick way to jump into the Docker image is essentially what this is doing. So if I just look at the file structure, I can see the app, all the files within the directory structure and so forth within the image. And I can play around with this, mess with it, and so forth. You can also then use bundle exec, Hanami, and then you can jump into the Hanami console itself. So now you can actually play with all the objects within the application within your IRB console. So like, Hanami, app, root, if you want to get the root directory, you can see that we're in the app folder within the Docker image and so forth. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here in the console, but I'm just pointing out that you can jump into the Docker image, you can jump into the Hanami console, and then you can play with all the object within the application. So those are the two scripts there. That's the build and the console script. And again, this is all documented in the README. The other thing that might be of interest is, and I don't actually document this in the README. I suppose I could if people want more of this. The only reason I bring this up is it's kind of an interesting thing that you can do if you don't want to run the entire stack using Docker Compose. So I'm just going to point this out really quick. But what this command does is it'll run the image that we just built. It'll do a port map to 2300 so that we can punch out to it and actually connect to it. And then it'll use the database URL and basically connect to my Postgres database that's running locally. And it does that by using Docker host internal to actually connect to my database that's running within my current development environment. So this allows the Docker image to connect to that database through the container, or sorry, through the image to my running Postgres instance. And we can see that here. If I look at it and show you, I can show you Postgres. You'll see that it's running on my local machine. So if I take this and I run this, I can actually just basically use that image that we just built locally, launch the server, connected to my local database, which is not Dockerized. And if I go and reload the page here, you'll see on 2300, port 2300, I can browse around the app, I can go to devices, dashboard, and so forth, and it's actually running connected to my Postgres database. So that's one way to use the Docker image against your own Postgres database if you want to. Now, if you totally don't care about any of that, which I totally understand, you can use Docker Compose. And so if I shut this thing down and I use Docker Compose, so Docker, with Docker Compose, I can actually do up, and it'll use the Docker Compose YAML that's in the project root to basically launch all the services. So Docker Compose is configured to launch Postgres in a container and then launch Terminus within a container. So if I do that, and then you'll see the database getting started in the container. If none of this is built, it'll automatically build it. And then once this comes up here, once the database comes up, we'll see the web app come up. And so now you're seeing the web service start as well. And that's launching the entire stack. And again, that also is on port 2300 as well. So here, if I just refresh this again, I've got a different database this time. You'll notice that my device is called Terminal, and when I was previously showing you, it was connected to my local Postgres database, which had a different label for a different device. But that's all you're seeing visually within the UI here. But I am actually connected to the full stack running Docker on port 2300. They both use the same port. But I'm using the full Docker Compose stack in this case. And so if I browse around, click on firmware, click on designer, all that stuff is loading and launching properly here locally. So that is Docker Compose running the entire stack. Now, you have access to all the different services. So like if there's changes to the main branch or you're working on a feature branch and you want to pull in those changes, you want to make sure that you rebuild the image each time there's new changes picked up, because when you run Docker Compose up, it's not going to automatically rebuild. So what you can do then is you can say build and then web, which is the web service. And that'll rebuild the image so that it's up to date, so that when you then run Docker Compose up, you'll get the newest image with the latest code, and then it'll just relaunch the stack for you. And that's using the image, and that's using Docker Compose locally. Now, there's one last thing I want to point out to you, which is if you go back to the project, so if you scroll up here, it's in the documentation too, so I'll point it out in the documentation first, and then we'll go look at it. So in the documentation here, there is a container registry, and so the image that we're building locally, both through the bash script commands and also through Docker Compose, that image is also built every time new changes are pushed onto the main branch, or when a new version is pushed for Terminus. And you can actually pull that image straight from the registry, the container registry on GitHub, if you don't want to do any of this at all. So like if you don't care about the image locally, any of that stuff, you can go straight to here and pull down that information. And that's listed in the container registry, which is shown here. So you can see that version 12 just got published. The latest will always be what's ever on the main branch. And then as new versions are published, you can pull those too, and those are available here as well. And when you click on any of them, it'll give you the commands that you need in order to actually pull that information. Or if you're putting it into your own Docker file, you've got the documentation there as well. And all of this is available from the project. So I'll show you in the UI here. You'll see it's under packages, and then Terminus is what you want. We accidentally built the BYOS package container registry originally, but the name was wrong, and so I've renamed it to Terminus, and this is the one you want to use. This is the one you want to ignore. And hopefully I'll be deleting that soon. I need to work with the GitHub team to actually remove that. But just know that Terminus is where you can find all the latest image builds. And again, like I said, these build when changes happen on the main branch. They end up as the latest tag, and if any versions are created, they'll show up here properly versioned. So anyway, that is using Docker with Terminus. Hope you found this useful, and I will see you online.